try this review of the Unavi X2. Alright, intro splash screen is customizable. Started up to the last source I had it on. It doesn't always do that. Sometimes it'll start up to the phone or the satellite. Hopefully they fix that with a software update. I've read that they're coming out with one, but I haven't used it, so... Alright, this is the radio screen. There's an option in the main settings to have it start up to the radio screen. If you don't have that set up, it'll boot up to this main screen. I haven't used the music function here. I normally just use the radio function. But the video, I'll show you that. Alright, now right now it's only playing out of the front speaker that comes with it. In order to get it out of all the speakers, you have to switch to auxiliary mode. And then it'll play out of all your speakers. It's pretty good quality. It's pretty good quality, as you can tell. Let's go ahead and exit out of there. Alright, let me go back to... You can use the steering wheel for mode. It'll tell you, bring up the little miniature radio. Tell you what you're currently tuning into. Oh, let's go back to the USB. Alright. This is the USB that's down in the UVO, not the one that's on the little control module. Alright, the navigation in this is really good compared to the factory nav. I hated that thing, and I could not wait to get rid of it. That little chime is pretty annoying. I wish you could turn it off, but I haven't been able to find anything to turn it off. It would be really nice if you could. Everything on it, the maps are pretty accurate. Everything on it's pretty good. They've got a few different views. I usually leave it on the 3D. There is a little niggle where if you go back to the radio, let's see if it does it now. There, you can see that the clock is off by an hour. That's been one complaint that people have. It's kind of minor, but it is still an issue. See, if you go back to the nav, it has the correct time. It only does that when you have the nav and the radio together, but I'm sure they can fix that with a software update. Alright. All of the destination stuff, address, all that is pretty good. Everything's been really accurate and way better than the factory navigation, and a lot less frustrating. I used to carry around a Garmin with me in the car just to avoid using the factory navigation unit. That should tell you what I think of the factory navigation unit. Settings are pretty standard. You know, you've got your route customizations. You can load routes. Avoidances are in there, you know, for highways and toll roads or anything like that. A few different display options. My camera limits this to 10 minutes, so I'm going to try to go through and be as comprehensive as I can without running over the time limit on my camera. Looks like I've used about 5 minutes, so I'll have to speed things up. So there's plenty of options, and it's pretty good. I wouldn't say it's 100% as good as a Garmin unit, but it's pretty darn good. I don't miss the Garmin now, and I don't have to carry it with me anymore, which is very nice. Screen capture is kind of interesting. I haven't used it, but I don't know what you would use it for. I guess it would be kind of, I mean, it's nice to have it. The more options, the more better. I'm kind of a technophile, so the more options the thing has, the better for me. Alright, let me get out of here. And it plays those chimes every time. It would be really, really nice if you could turn that off. Go into the clock, that's where you set your time. And see, you can see the clock is off now by an hour. It only does that when you use the navigation. Music, I haven't used this. This will play music that you have off of the thumb drive in the glove box or wherever you mount it. So I won't go through that because I haven't even used that. The video I showed you first. Settings, they've got a few different settings. Trip Auto Run is the one that actually brings you to the radio screen first after boot up. I recommend leaving it on because that way if you go into the navigation it brings up that little miniature radio display that you saw and you can toggle between the two that way. I've read that there's going to be, the software update will have a toggle button for the navigation on the radio, which would be nice. The built-in speaker is what you were hearing the video play off of, and also the navigation commands come off of. Navigation commands will only play off of the interior speakers if you've got it set to auxiliary mode. And it's the same with the video, and I'm guessing the music function as well. You set your screen brightnesses and all that good stuff. This screen is very reflective, but I don't find it to be a huge problem. You could get a screen protector that could probably help out, but I don't find it to be a huge problem. This will tell you your firmware settings and product IDs and all that good stuff. This is also where the boot update is also where you'd go to change your splash screen on startup. Auxiliary mode is your auxiliary video, which I guess you would have to go into to get to if you had like a computer or a game system hooked up. Alright, let's get out of here. Go back to the radio since that's where most of the stuff happens. This interface is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. It's pretty user-friendly. It will do album art, which I didn't know about beforehand. It's one of the reasons I'm doing the review, is so that people can see exactly what the unit does do. Got about 2 minutes left on this, so should be enough time. The copy is nice. That copies everything to the jukebox, or any songs you might want to hear. I've got a few of them hooked up, a few of them recorded. It will also pull over the album art, which is nice. And if you ever want more information, you just click on it. Alright, standard options, repeat, shuffle, that sort of things. You've got a few sound, equalizer settings. Nothing really dramatically great, but I got to admit it does sound pretty darn good with the Infinity system. I'm pretty happy with it. All I would want to do is add maybe a small sub. So that's actually, I haven't really, all I did was change a few tone settings, add a little more treble and pull out a few ticks of low end, and then add a little bit of mid bass. Everybody likes to listen to music a little differently. That's just the way I set it up. Alright, phone is pretty good. I haven't had any issues with my, I've got an LG Optimas. I haven't had any issues with that. Right now it won't connect, actually, because I have my phones hooked up to a home phone system that does Bluetooth to home phones, so it won't actually connect right now. So let me pull out of that. And you can set priorities and all that good stuff, and you've got settings for connectivity. Default call ring volume, good. I'm actually really glad Alright, I ran out of time in that last video. It's okay, I'll do a supplemental one here. Alright, it'll pick up HD stations automatically, which is nice. And of course your steering wheel controls work for cycling through presets. Everything works pretty well. It's pretty responsive. Pretty much just the way UVO would be, which is good. It should be that way. It's piggybacking off of it. Media will scroll through USB. It'll also go through your phone for Bluetooth streaming. Sirius radio, of course, is Sirius radio. Setup gives you a few more options for your voice command system, display, and I haven't gone through everything on this, but this video should give you a pretty good idea of what this thing actually does. I'm pretty happy with it, and the price is it's pretty much on par with a really good aftermarket system. Once you add in the reverse camera options and the hands-free calling options, once you add all that into, it's pretty competitive, and it's really nice having the 8-inch screen that basically you know, is customized for the Optima, not just a generic screen. Let's see here. What else can I show you? Oh yes, let me show you the. See if I can do this. There's not a lot of light in here. Let me show you where I mounted the control box with the USB stick that I was playing the videos off of. Let's see here. I don't know how well you can see this, but that's where I have it mounted. I should have brought a flashlight in here, but you should get the idea there. It fits pretty nicely and doesn't get in the way there. It also has the flash drive in that, or I'm sorry, the SD card in that lets you change your splash screens on startup and that sort of stuff. It's also how you would change your firmware, I believe. Let's set this back up here. There's not really much else to show you with it. If you run into something that you want to absolutely see, let me know and I'll take pictures of it or another video for you. But I'm pretty happy with this unit, and I could definitely recommend it to anyone. I'm doing this because I told David I would do it when I purchased it. And also because nobody else has a video of this working in the Optima where they show you all the different functions. So to get back to the main screen, you tap on the top. Images, again, I haven't played with this either. Same with the music. I'm sure it takes images off the USB that is in the glove box. So I haven't actually gone through all this. When you do, you have to add them individually. I did it for the video, so I'm pretty sure it's the same as this. Alright, or the same for this function. So I'll just exit out of there. Alright. Go back to radio. So that's pretty much it. And like I said, if you have any other specific questions, feel free to ask. I'll be more than happy to answer. I'll post a thread up after this finishes uploading. It's a pretty long video, so I'm sure it'll take a long time. But yeah, that's the Unavi X2 for the Kia Optima.